Welcome to Thinking Outside the Soil with your host, Shawnee Alfalfaseed, where we get to talk story and touch on topics about hydroponics and the farmers who grow the crops and creatures we need to eat. Good morning, and hello from Blooming Health Farms, and thank you for being with me on this gorgeous morning. Mornings are much different now that the time change has just happened. And so we got to fall back, like many of us in the United States. I have my opinions on the time changes and those things, but I'd love to hear your thoughts or your concerns or even some of the insights that you've had during these time changes. So if you've got anything, please leave a comment below or send an email over to sean@thinkingoutsidthesoil.com. That's Sean@thinkingoutsidthesoil.com. And while you're there, leave us a review as well and hit the subscribe button so you can get the notifications for when these shows are released. Now, I've been doing this show for almost a year now, and I have tried to figure out how to best tell the stories of hydroponic fodder, of other farmers and ranchers who are using these novel methods to change the lives of themselves and the others in their community, as well as greatly benefit the animals or the livestock that they're working with on a consistent basis. You know, we here at Blooming Health Farms have a belief that agriculture offers opportunities to grow your mind, grow your body, and grow your spirit in ways that no other industry does. We've seen by teaching just some of the principles of hydroponic agriculture, which I generally will call agricultural entrepreneurship, we've seen a tremendous growth in some of the at-risk youth that we've been working with. And I use the word some because we're still building the nonprofit as of this recording. We have helped a little under 24 youth. When I say we, it's been mostly me and the volunteers that I've been able to draw in to help me move the mechanisms of Blooming Health Farms so that I can focus on trying to grow this business. And one of the things that I'd love to share with you today is the craziness of trying to start a nonprofit virtually by yourself. And I've now recognized that I cannot do that anymore and have begun to bring in more qualified individuals, meaning those with experience in business, those with a solid job history, who will come in and be able to help facilitate the growth that is necessary. I have been wearing way too many hats over the past 4 years trying to build this business. And one of the reasons is that I am a fairly intelligent and highly capable individual, and that has hindered me significantly because I have this false belief that I can do everything or anything, and I am trying to do everything and not doing all of it very well. You know, one of the great things about being a human is that we have this special superpower to concentrate on one thing and become really, really good at it. Now, everybody concentrates and focuses their attention on something different, but it's when we hone that in that we can begin to become all we can be. And I have unfortunately tried to focus on too many things at too many times. And there's a phrase that I love to say in a lot of different ways, and you may have heard it yourself. It's the jack of all trades, master of none. And part of that thinking stems from my training as a systems engineer. One of the things about being a systems engineer is that we are trained to think a mile wide, but an inch deep. Now, I have seen how that has benefited me in many different ways because I have successfully built a nonprofit from the ground up with a lot of guidance from experts in their fields. I have relied on the knowledge base of many other subject matter experts in order to build this business. And that's looked like me being able to ask the appropriate questions to those different industry experts. It can often take pointed questions and an understanding to get the answers you need, or said a different way, it's all about the questions that you ask in order to figure things out. And there's always a better way to ask a better question so that you can get a better answer. Now, in that, on the flip side, I have recognized that the mile wide and inch deep is great for someone who is the CEO or executive director of a business. However, my love and my skill set is in writing and teaching, as well as doing the R&D, or the research and development of specifically making feed. I've recently realized that I absolutely love getting into the weeds, or getting into the details of chicken feed. And it all started with my mentor, Dr. Harry Ako, who showed me how to formulate fish food and develop an amazing product that was on par with commercial aquaculture feeds. So what that means is that we were trying to develop a feed for farmers, one that they could make it themselves, that was just as good as the commercial feeds. And the reason that we were doing that is that many of the farmers we were working with in the Pacific Islands were unable to get their own feed because of supply issues. And we've seen even more recently with the pandemic, if you will, that the supply chain and the logistics to get things to stores or even to our doors was severely hindered, and it showed us where a lot of the weaknesses were in that system. And it also showed us where some of those opportunities could be. As of the past few years, we have seen a resurgence in this homesteading movement. Now, inside that homesteading movement, there's the idea of being self-sufficient and self-reliant, and being able to support yourself through your own contributions. Well, that's where we fit in. That's where Blooming Health Farms has found another niche. Now, we have had a lot of success so far with helping homesteaders pimp their farms. Now, I use that word and I joke. However, there was a show many years ago by a gentleman named Exhibit where he would work with an auto body shop, or a mechanic shop rather, and they would take cars that were, meh, or on their way out, generally vehicles that had an emotional attachment to the individual, and they would take those cars and make them better. So they would pimp their ride, and the show was called Pimp My Ride. Now, I've used that reframe to change the way that we're approaching what we're doing. Now, the word pimp has some negative connotations, and I recognize that. However, it also has an allure to the at-risk individuals that we've been working with. And when I use the word at-risk, we specifically mean the ones involved with the criminal justice system. Now, we are focused on helping the at-risk youth who are in the revolving door of the criminal justice system, or have yet to step into that. We also recognize that there are other individuals, adults, that have a criminal record, that then convicts, that offer a huge benefit to our community. They get to show others their journey, they get to talk about it, they get to share their successes, they get to share their failures. And in another episode, I will share with you one of those individuals named Elliot, who had an amazing impact on our first success story, or our first true star, Kawani, who actually goes by KG West. So I will share that story in another episode of Elliot, but it's those individuals out there that have really helped us better define our mission to help the farmers and ranchers who are desiring to become self-sufficient. And for lack of better words, we can call you homesteader. So if you're a homesteader and you want to become more self-sufficient, you ought to read Thinking Outside the Soil, because it helps farmers see how you can be better stewards of our earth and improve the livestock quality by adopting hydroponic fodder practices. Now, there's a lot of different ways to go down that path. We have a system that we call our Sprouting for Success system. The Sprouting for Success system is designed for the small to medium scale homesteader who wants to take back control of their farm, who wants to save money and save time. So if you're interested in saving about 30% of your costs compared to what you may be spending now by getting that commercial feed or doing all the other things you need, or if you're interested in saving time, we can feed out 100 chickens in 15 minutes a day. And that's a testament to some of the R&D that I've been able to do, because I've finally figured out how to ask for the help and stop being a mile wide and an inch deep. So if you're overburdened with some of the things that you've got going on in your farm, you're likely an extremely busy individual without a lot of resources as well, give me a call or send me an email. The links are below the show, so go down there to get those links. Or if you like to listen, it's SEAN or Sean at thinkingoutsidethesoil.com. So Sean at thinkingoutsidethesoil.com, SEAN, like Sean Connery. Reach out, let us know what you think of the book or what it is that you need to do on your farm to become more self-sufficient, and we will do our best to put you on that path. Now, if we don't have the answers, then we will help get you on to the path that's most appropriate. Head on over to thinkingoutsidethesoil.com and you can sign up for a free 20-minute consultation with me, where I will just talk about the things that you're trying to do so that you can become the best farmer that you want to be. That is all I have for us today on this lovely morning. Thank you for being with me on another episode of Thinking Outside the Soil. Join us again. Take care and have a lovely day.